Wow, that's pretty freaky seeing that.
MGM, this is great. Never thought we'd get this far.
Needs a clown nose.
Okay, Killer goes, hey, this is Stephen Chiodo. I'm the director of the Killer Klowns.
This is Ed Chiodo. I was producer.
Yeah, and I'm Charlie Chiodo. I was production designer on Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
Remember this? Listen to this music. This was the best part. The Dickies, with this cold opening here, the haunting calliope.
Well, they captured it.
Oh yeah, and the guys hadn't even seen the film. They just heard the title, and they came up with this tune. Perfect.
The maniacal laughing.
I love it.
And a great part of the audience comes from the Dickie fans.
Mm-hmm. Now, Killer Klowns from Outer Space. You remember what it was called in the beginning?
We just called Killer Klowns.
That's right. But I guess we were afraid that the Killer Klowns might have been too much of a slasher film kind of title. So we figured let's give it From Outer Space to kind of give it that comical tone that we wanted.
Yeah, after all, we were making a serious movie.
In fact, that's what really sold the movie, the title. When we went in to pitch it, remember?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I did a one-sheet quickie piece of artwork. We had a sculpture that Steven did, and the title. And he said, we want it.
And Moshe Diamant. I like the title.
Yeah, I don't think he cared what the film was about. He figured he could sell a lot of video.
Oh, I think, didn't he say? He said he thought he was going to get a bunch of guys running around in clown suits. That's what he said.
I think they were really surprised with what we pulled out at the end. So where are we now? We're up in Santa Cruz, right? Santa Cruz, California, where we shot the film.
And we wanted an East Coast feel because we're from back east, New York area. Yeah. We like the seaside, green trees and things, so Santa Cruz afforded that opportunity.
Yeah, I think one of the production managers wanted to take a vacation up there. That's why
I think so. And look who's coming down the street now. Do you guys remember who this is? That's a very young Chris Titus.
I think it's his very first role.
That's right. Now, he really stuck out in the auditions. He had a lot of charisma. But this is a funny story. You remember how nervous he was when we shot the film?
Didn't he apologize to us for being so nervous?
Yeah, and I said, don't worry. This is my first directing gig.
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous, too.
But Friday night's just starting. I'm heading across town to the park.
We got John Vernon here. He was great.
Yeah.
Now, this is really funny. We had cameos in this. I think I'm taking a leak behind this car over here, but the exposure was a little dark, so you can't see me.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God. Oh, wait.
That's the first joke of the film.
Yeah, 3 Chiodos.
Oh, here's the intro. Mike and Debbie, Grant Kramer and Suzanne Schneider.
Yeah, Grant Kramer's playing Mike Tobacco. Mike Tobacco happens to be a childhood buddy of ours.
In fact, all of these guys are. Just a quick aside, the Terenzi brothers are 2 great pals of ours, and Mike Tobacco, we used to have great adventures with these guys, doing a lot of stupid things when we were young. Yeah, most of them capitalized in this film.
Yeah, we killed most of our childhood friends in this movie.
Yeah, and here's the Terenzi brothers.
While you screw, let's take a break. Cool off those hot lips.
And it was all about picking up girls.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Again, we modeled this film after one of our favorite 50s sci-fi films, The Blob. And if you remember, it started out at a make-out point where 2 young lovers saw a shooting star, which started them on this great adventure. And we sort of modeled it after that, except we threw a lot more comedy into it.
Yeah, the Terenzi brothers are a little bit over the top, but again, they rented this ice cream truck to get girls. It was a valid,
valid motivation.
Yeah, their sole pursuit in life.
Great idea, Paul. Everybody loves ice cream.
What do you mean?
Well, that's funny, too, because everyone knows you buy a girl an ice cream cone or a liquor stick. Just watch them eat it.
Watch the girl on the left look at the camera. These are local talent.
Have all the ice cream we wanted, but you didn't say anything about parking.
You look at me now.
Right at us.
Yeah, it was the best take out of all of them, so we took it.
Actually, in casting, we're looking for the pork chop twins.
Keep your shirt on.
Don't worry, we intend to.
No, there was a local pool of talent, and we sort of got the best of the bunch, I believe.
Hey, why don't we try the drive-in?
Oh, that's dumb.
Hey, wait a minute. What's playing?
Now, they're sitting in a raft. Does anybody wonder why a raft in the back of a car?
The raft comes from a Mike Tobacco story. Mike Tobacco took a raft out and got lost at sea, and they had the Coast Guard and everybody after him. When the raft came back, his father was so angry at him, he stabbed it to death with a knife. The raft is in Mike's car now.
Yeah,
as
and
a
he-
make-out.
You'll notice actually we have some patches where he repaired them.
Now, that was in the dialogue of the film,
Yeah.
but that was cut out to move the movie along.
Yeah, we had some extended exposition in the beginning to establish his relationship with the brothers and the adventures they had, but we cut it out for time.
Oh, but what was funny, too, the thing was it was like a giant whoopee cushion. Every time they moved, it went...
It was Sound Man's nightmare.
And this is the Blob.
Our first visual effect of the movie, done by Fantasy 2 Film Effects. Gene Warren Jr.
That was incredible.
Royal Dano.
And Pooh Bear the dog.
Hornswoggle! Did you see that little old sky jockey zip down in there, Pooh?
Royal Dano was great. I mean, it was like director proof. You know, he just popped in there with this great character. It was a real pleasure to work with.
Yeah, and who do we give him to work against? We have him opposite a dog.
A dog.
It was an amateur dog, too, a local. Now, if you look in the doorway, you're going to see our prop master, Ainsley Wolf.
No, that's Mrs. Green.
Yeah, that's Mr.
No, that's our prop master.
Ainsley DeWolf handing him props and getting him out the door.
Yeah.
No way. Debbie, it's a waste of time. It's got to be 1,000 miles away. We've been our whole evening.
Don't give me that. You saw
Ruined
how
his
close
whole
it was.
evening.
It landed right over the hill. Now that is not 1,000 miles away. Come on. You can find it, Mr. Adventure.
Yeah, he was Mr. Adventure, and if we'd have put the rest of the movie in, or the beginning, you would have seen that he and the Terenzi brothers had lots of adventures.
Yeah,
which is-
we were supposed to establish, basically a carefree lifestyle there, this wild guys.
And the dynamics between the two were that Mike was the dumb blonde and Debbie was supposed to be the sharp one.
Debbie's the sharp one.
Interesting thing, we shot the movie in 6 weeks, 36 days, basically at night in Santa Cruz. This was shot outside in location.
And that's a matte painting by Mark Sullivan. It's an in-camera matte where half the negative was exposed, then the matte painting was done, and the other half was exposed.
On a second pass.
So all this was exterior nights, actually in a wooded area. And now here,
These little
Where'd you get these props?
Well, these stringers, Philip Foreman, the art director, we went shopping to Pick and Save, and we picked up little light fixtures and little pieces of hose and stuff, and we kludged them together. He was great at that, making a kit of parts to make, all the props and sets.
Now this is
actually an interior set we built. We recreated the woods on our giant warehouse set. It's a giant tent panels we had made.
Yeah,
because the tent panels were made from sailing boat sails.
Santa Cruz, it was a great boating community, so there were sail makers there. So we actually, Philip went and we contracted the guys to put together a canvas tent. They sewed it together. The backlighting makes it great.
Yeah, I was going for this real surrealistic look of just this broad, bright colors behind the farmer at night.
Our first glimpse of the clown. Actually, it was our original intent really not to show the clowns for some time, really keep them in suspense as to what was going on.
But our executive producer, Paul Mason, said, no, in the first reel, you got to show the clowns.
Yeah, by the end of the first reel, you have to see a clown.
Pooh Bear? Where is that dog?
Some people really got upset that we got rid of Pooh so early.
Well, in the Blob, Jack Harris let the little dog live. But we in Killer Klowns, we had to get rid of the dog.
Yeah, we had to update it for the 80s.
But that was always one of the fun things. We got rid of people in the most saccharine way, in a sweet way.
What in tarnation's going on here?
So now he's realizing that the tent isn't exactly what he thinks it is.
Where's my dog?
And this was another matte shot
Where's my Pooh
by an artist working with Mark Sullivan.
I'll tear this thing apart with my bare hands!
Little by little, we wanted to establish that this is more than just a normal tent. There's something special, something different about it.
And what I like about this is all of a sudden his demeanor changes again. Once again, he's approached by something friendly.
Yeah, we were always playing with this idea that your first impression of a clown is that it's friendly, but these clowns are quite the opposite.
Yeah, you don't expect a clown to pull something like that on you.
Yeah, it was always the basic concept that when you see a clown, they're funny, they laugh, you can get close, and that's how they lure you in. When you're too close to notice that they're not friendly, it's too late.
This is always funny. This is a realistic depiction of a police department.
The fantasy continues.
On the way to the dorm. We had a bottle of wine.
Yeah, it's a beautiful night. We were walking.
We wanted to establish that there was some kind of conflict between the college community and the town.
The town is being represented by John Vernon as Officer Mooney.
We live in this town, too. I mean, we don't have to just stay on campus.
Yeah. And it's scum like you that are killing us.
It's a bit extreme, but we made our point quickly.
But I understand in Los Angeles, they act just like that.
We just had a little wine. What's the problem?
You're the problem, you little shit.
A real fascist cop.
Just lighten up.
Back off, Dave. Open container, public intoxication, littering, disturbing the peace, resisting arrest. These kids are history.
Yeah, they need some legal representation.
Yeah, actually, we really worked overtime on all the legal research on this one.
My training, I don't care. But when you bring someone into the station, I don't want to see you beating them up. Now, if you're gonna book them, do it according to procedure. Or I swear, Kurt, you and that badge of yours will be history.
Yeah, we have John Allen Nelson here as Dave, the cop. He's the Boy Scout, the trooper, the guy who takes it seriously. You know, again, a little caricatured. You know, we went, we went polar on this one. You know, the extremes. But you know, it's a funny movie.
They're sort of archetypal characters for the kind of genre we're dealing with in a 50s monster movie.
And there was a lot of stuff that we shot in the woods there between Mike and Debbie that we just cut out. It just slowed the film down.
Yeah, there was a lot of suspense here as they were going through the woods towards the tent. They were hearing things that were being followed by shadowy clowns in the woods, but we cut all that out.
Just really wanted to get to the, the fun part, sooner, get to the clowns.
Again, we want to show the playfulness of Mike, trying to explore his personality as a funny guy. The real Mike Tobacco was a hoot. He used to carry bottles of champagne in his glove compartment to entertain his dates. He was a funny guy. He's still alive, though.
He's still funny.
Yeah, he's still funny. He just lost his hair a little bit, I think. Yeah, there's an extended scene where Mike tries to leave her in the dark. Cut.
It's no shooting star. Looks like...
Take a close look at Debbie's right arm.
Yeah, I think she crosses into the mat. Oop.
See, her arm disappears.
Something's wrong.
Oops.
This doesn't feel right. Weren't we looking for the shooting star?
And a lot of this stuff is based on experiences and characters that we met. We put a little bit of our life, our perspective on life and dating and, finding women. This is, so there's a little bit of the Chiodo Brothers, in this movie. It's what we know. It's what we write.
I said there's a lot of it here. I mean, her fear of clowns kind of goes back to my fear as well. I never liked clowns from a very early age.
See, I always liked clowns.
It's funny, but actually, in talking to people while we're making the film, a large percentage of people really don't like clowns. I mean, they agree what they stand for and everything like that, but when they get down direct into the meat of it, they're just uncomfortable by people being hidden by makeup.
Well, that's the nerve that it hits. Someone said that you're introduced to clowns at a very young age, and it's very frightening. That fear as a child stays with you into adulthood.
It did with me.
No. Mike, we better not.
Deb, you are gonna love this. Don't be a baby.
Again, it would have been nice to have a little smoke here.
This is bizarre. What kind of circus is this?
This is that new wave European circus.
Now, Charlie and Philip came up with this, I guess, Tinker Toy type design for the sets. We made a bunch of cylinders, a bunch of boxes, a bunch of sauna tubes, and we just rearranged them each scene to create different set pieces.
Yeah, my tendency would to be design original sets. It would have been cost prohibitive. Philip came up with a kit of parts idea so we could reuse things.
Step right up here and see Gumbo, the toothless elephant. Or, right over here, we've got Belinda, the Billy McWonder.
Yeah, coming up is a line that one of our fan websites have nominated as the worst line in the movie.
Somebody will catch us.
I have some favorites.
What? It looks like it was decorated by Clowns Are Us.
That was the line, Clowns Are Us.
I don't know.
There are several candidates here, I think.
How much further you want to go?
The inspiration for the design from this was the Memphis design, and with the bright colors and the wacky shapes, and Dr. Seuss. So
Yeah.
we did a combination of that.
That's it exactly. I say it's a good combination with Memphis design and Dr. Seuss.
And again, found objects. We're working on a tight budget. You know, the little buttons here are little, 10-cent sponge balls, from a 5 and 10 cent store,
And the doors you'll see, those are darkroom doors.
Yeah, we just painted them up real nice.
Now, this is a very cool shot. Mark Sullivan produced this matte painting here, and again, it's like an homage to the power chamber in Forbidden Planet.
Yeah, the Krell complex.
Krell Lab. And we shot the live action on a warehouse set, and Mark painted the elements in later on.
Yeah, this is basically our version of the things that inspired us. We just throw it back.
With a bit of a twist, in this case.
Yeah, Mark went above and beyond on this one. He put the reactive lighting and the electric thing all rotoed, multiple passes, And
the other cool thing about it is, obviously, it just defies the space we just saw outside. We saw a little circus tent. We go in there and we find out it's immense.
What's funny here is, Suzanne, Debbie's trying to make sense of it, and Mike is still thinking that, it's a cotton candy factory or something,
Yeah, he's pretty
It's a circus
stupid.
tent.
It's coming this way. Here, come on.
Here's another set piece, the Cocoon Room. This is another matte painting done by Mark Sullivan. But this was done in 2 stages. As you see, it'll be empty here.
Yeah, just take a look at all those empty racks. And
later on, you'll see how many people they kill in this town.
Listen to Mike's explanations of what he thinks it is. Would you date this guy?
I don't know what we saw out there before.
Well, actually, wasn't in every movie you've kind of got the dumb broad. Mike was the dumb broad. We never told him that, though. I guess he'll find out now.
No. Well, Grant's great. He played the part great.
I've never seen anything like this before. Have you?
No.
It's probably one of the bigger sets. We had to fill the ground with smoke. How many? Had 4 smoke machines?
Yeah, it was
dry
a lot.
ice machines filling the ground.
Yeah, we had to fill it with 100 cocoons and balloons.
We're trapped in one right now.
What were the cocoons made of? They were
Yeah, it was a fiber fill.
Yeah, polyester batting.
Yeah, that you stuff pillows with. Basically, we made a cardboard frame, put it around it, and then painted a skin of pink fiber fill and wrapped it.
That's the farmer we just saw. If you notice the little cocoon behind him, that's his dog Pooh Bear.
That was Pooh Bear. Well, the reason he's red is because he's being gelatinized.
sort of like a spider injects a digestive juice. Well, a cocoon acts the same way. It's kind of dissolving the flesh into some kind of syrupy liquid that the clowns could ingest. That was the philosophy behind it.
And there's the popcorn incubators, and we don't know what the popcorn has in store yet.
This is all a foreshadowing.
Yeah.
The deep tapestry we wove.
Yeah, those levers were made from, I think, oil funnels or gasoline,
Nozzles.
nozzles. Yeah.
Joe Lombardo, my childhood friend.
We killed him very early.
Actually, he was supposed to be killed in a pre-title sequence that never made it.
And there's the lethal popcorn gun. That was a $7,000 prop.
Probably the most expensive prop in the movie.
Yeah, it took $6,000, 6 weeks and $7,000 to build that thing.
I actually fired popcorn. It had a compressor inside.
I could have used a sparkless bottle and painted it green.
Another shot I really miss here. Remember the popcorn POV we had planned?
Yeah.
We individually stuck popcorn on the actor and actress.
Popcorn, because the clowns, that's why.
Makes sense to me.
And this is, to me, one of my favorite gags, the balloon dogs.
It was funny. One critic criticized the film as being so low budget they actually used a balloon dog as a special effect.
They're real balloons for the balloon dog.
You missed the point. That's the joke.
What else would we use?
We were working in a pine forest, and the balloon dogs would pop every time they came in contact with the needles on the ground.
So what did you do?
Well, we had to take liquid latex and coat the legs, like 3 or 4 coats, dry them with a hairdryer, and they could sustain themselves.
Hey, where's the dog in that shot?
Yeah, I know. If you notice, the clown was not holding a leash.
It was faking it.
Hurry! They're coming!
Your classic can't get the car started scene, and your classic run over the balloon dog scene.
Oh! I think that was the shadow of the cameraman on that clown.
Yeah, this is the director's favorite shot in the entire film.
It actually has a kind of a sad story related to it.
Yeah.
This version of it, the original version was lost in the lab. So we had to go back to our second take, our B take, and unfortunately that negative was lost as well. So we had to go to work print and make a dupe of it.
So that's a dupe of the work print in the film.
This is Crescent Cove. They have a hand-painted Crescent Cove sign.
This is a low-budget film. You know where we spent the money, and it certainly wasn't on signs.
Oh, there's a funny story on this one,
greens.
too. Like, we couldn't let the clowns walk all the way into the scene, the clowns that are coming in towards the end here, because we were in such a hurry, we didn't let them put on their shoes. So we had to cut the take before you saw their feet.
Yeah, I wanted them to walk all the way into the distance, into the fog. We couldn't take them that far. Well,
Meanwhile, back at the
police
police station.
and another one of the misgivings of a low-budget film, they wouldn't let me crash the car. So we had to knock over a newspaper machine just to create some kind of calamity there.
Well, we got yelled at. The cars were rentals, and, you know, we got yelled at for even having them knock over that newspaper vending machine.
There are 2 people dead.
Who, Debbie? Who's dead?
Joe Lombardo, he's dead.
And some old man, too.
Wait a second, guys. Are you sure about this?
Yes, they were hanging there, wrapped up in these...
We played this movie really straight. It's not a parody, it's not a satire, it's not a lampoon. It's a serious monster movie, but the dialogue that we're delivering here is dead serious, but just ridiculous in its content.
Exactly. That's what we were going for. And again, if you look at our modern culture, clowns are everywhere. At fast food restaurants, we just wanted to show everybody that clowns really do infiltrate every aspect of our culture. And you wouldn't even notice them if they were there.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing threatening about a clown.
Look.
Bodo.
All right, sit down.
Some of our clown lingo there, our language that we created.
Well, that was funny. Yeah, Chuck Serino was our sound designer, and he designed the language of the clown. Perhaps we should print out maybe the
But
dictionary.
instead of finding the shooting star, we saw this circus tent. And that's when we went inside, and that is when we saw the
Now, how do you explain this
pink cotton candy
to the authorities?
Well, this is my favorite line in the movie.
Yeah.
John Vernon's line. It's classic.
It was a spaceship, and there was these things, these killer clowns, and they shot popcorn at us. We barely got away.
Killer clowns from outer space. Holy shit.
Dave,
That says
we are
it all.
telling you
Yeah,
the
John
truth.
added
You've gotta
the holy
believe
shit.
us.
In the TV version.
Brilliant.
TV version, it's holy smoke.
Not quite as effective.
We're talking to Dave.
Yeah, just hold on a second, Mooney. They say some people are dead. Let's hear them out.
Right, Dave?
And now I think we start to establish the love triangle here. The tension between Mike, Debbie, and Dave.
Yeah,
we
we
start
weren't-
seeing some insights into the characters.
Yeah, we weren't making a monster movie here. We were making
A people picture.
Yeah, it's a tender love story.
It's all right. All right, Debbie. Who's your friend?
Mike, we go to school together.
You two were up at top of the world together?
Yeah.
Top of the World is a makeout.
Make our point.
You little fart. You hang out with the Terenzi brothers.
That's right.
I mean, yeah, there was always a place that they wanted to go.
Goddamn truck those hoodlums run around in.
And the real Terenzi brothers, you know, they would think of things, different ways to manipulate, women into certain situations. It was really funny,
A full written report so I can give it to the chief when he gets back on Monday.
Never quite worked out, though.
Look, everything happened just the way we said.
No, as far as your classic kids trying to convince the authorities of some murderous monster, this is pretty classic in the genre, and I think there was enough of a twist to make it a little different.
And here's our great foreshadowing.
But you're not going to make a dummy out of me.
I think on second viewing that line holds a lot of power. I mean, we thought a lot about the writing of the film. We tried to weave as many elements and foreshadowing things as we could.
There's not an intentional joke in there. It's all, you know, it's dialogue
story.
pertinent, you know, to the situation.
This is a funny clown kill.
This is just, again, showing us how you're lured into, you know, clowns and circus elements. The most harmless thing going on that proves to be deadly.
Yeah, they were trying to save some money here, so we weren't recording the actual performer. He was an extra. We had to dub his sound effects, his voice in after the fact, which sort of give it a weird foreign film look.
Yeah, a really low budget look.
Remember actually in the original draft of this, and we had the little male puppets sport an erection?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, there was a difficulty in this one. The clown could not operate the gun through the puppet very easily, and we had to figure out a way to rig it so he could shoot it. And I think we did this take 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
You know, with different. We had like 4 different puppet stages. And in the supplementary material, I'll show you how we replaced the cocoon with the actor.
And that's how they make Cocoons.
And here we are in the local Santa Cruz drugstore, and we couldn't do that much destruction here. So as you see in later scenes, we actually went back down to Hollywood and created a set to do more damage.
One of the notes from the executors after delivered our cut of the film was they wanted to see more clown mayhem, more clown destruction. So the drugstore gave us that great opportunity to.
And there's the insert stuff. He's got toilet paper stuck to his foot, you know.
And who's in there? That's Mitch Bryant?
Yeah, Mitch Bryant is in there, and you can see his...
In the suit.
You see his glove, the end of his glove there.
Doesn't go quite up his arm.
All right, we're going up there to check this out. First, I'm taking you home, baby.
No way. I'm going back up there with you. You can't tell me what to do.
Debbie, just listen to me, would you?
And
I don't have to listen to you. You are not my boyfriend anymore, all right?
Oh, what a surprise.
There you go. There's the sledgehammer. There's the revelation.
Yeah, we just wanted to put Mike deeper and deeper into it.
Don't do this to me.
All right, Debbie, you got a choice. Well, either go home or I'm going to take you back to the station and lock you up for safekeeping. How's that?
There you go. Is there a lawsuit there someplace, too?
And these were added in later on. After we did the first cut, we wanted more clown gags, so we wrote this in.
Yeah, this one was like about 20 takes to coordinate the direction of the gun, the guy popping out of a pack of pizza boxes. It was a tough one. You know, looking back on it now, we could have buttoned them up a little differently, but...
Yeah, they could have been a little bit tighter. But again, the idea here was that people don't question the activities of clowns. You wouldn't suspect clowns would kill you.
Yeah, this is home invasion right here.
And what was that guy's name? Was that Fatty or Bubbles?
I think it was Bubbles.
You know, we had a name for each of the clowns. Something, they didn't have it in the script, but we referred to them as our little pet names, and we'll try to...
Yeah, just so we know who to call up on set.
Yeah.
You know, from Killer to...
we'll point them out when we see them.
Your old boyfriend.
Conniving Debbie here.
This is just great. Probably gonna take me up on top of the hill and shoot me.
Yeah, we were shooting this stuff all at night, you know. They wound up being an all-night schedule.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Oh, and in
weeks.
the context of the film, everything that happens over one night.
Yeah. By dawn, it's all over.
Okay?
Huh? You better.
He wasn't looking.
Yeah, he wasn't looking.
I thought that was kind of funny.
No, it's neat looking back on it. You remember it. You know, you remember all the, the other takes and, why you chose. It's really funny working the dynamics of the actors. 2 out of 3 work perfectly. One guy, misses a line. Then you wind up using a take that you wouldn't normally have because of all the different variables. The lighting wasn't right, or somebody moved into a shadow. It's really complicated, real difficult. And the clowns have problems seeing and stuff, the guys in the suits. You have to take them in and out every 20 minutes because, it's hard to breathe and hard to see. That didn't work. It looks like it worked the first time, but we couldn't hit him in the face immediately. You know, the shaving cream was going in different directions or not at all. You know, a simple gag like this, you have to rig to blow the powder up into their faces.
And actually, when we did this, the powder went up inside the mask, and the guy basically was choking on it.
Yeah, choking on powder.
Got to rip him out of the mask. Now, remember the scene when they came through the woods, there was a giant circus tent.
Where is it?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know, pal.
It was right there where that hole is.
There's a big hole. Now, why Dave doesn't question this big hole?
Hey,
I don't know.
they're college kids. I wouldn't believe them.
Yeah. Oh, you guys dug this big hole to fool me.
There's a great scene between John and Grant. It was the first night they worked together, and I think they were really challenging each other. It's a pretty good scene.
Turn around, pal. Mooney was right, huh? Got nothing better to do but cause problems. Well, you're not going to get away with it this time. Get away.
Now, is he being mean to Mike because of this hole, or because he's dating his old girlfriend?
And here we have every biker from Santa Cruz who joined us this evening for this shoot.
And there we go. Tiny. This is Tiny.
Mm-hmm.
Played by Gino. He couldn't see. It was real hard. Again, these actors were performing in suits, and they weren't very experienced suit performers.
No, they weren't, and plus we had a walk-around head for these characters because we couldn't fit all the mechanics inside the actual performer suit.
At the time in 1987.
Yeah, in 1980. Nowadays we use radio-controlled servo motors, and we're able to put that kind of mechanics inside them, the costume's head. So.
Yeah, we had separate mechanical puppet heads that had the full articulation, and these walk-around heads just had basically eye blinks.
Should have let the man ride his bike.
And again, this scene was very reminiscent of an Abbott and Costello routine.
Susquehanna Hats.
The Susquehanna Hat Company. It's one of the puppet heads. A reverse gag to make them jump out quick.
I don't know if he's saying, put up your dukes in clown language. But nobody was taking him seriously.
That's funny, in talking to fans, they really like this scene because they like to root for the clowns here.
Now, perhaps you didn't see it, but there was a mechanical extension with the glove, but because of the angle that it had to hit, we lost the gag a little bit in that scene. And this is Killer. His name is Killer, and this is at Big Top Burgers. The Chiodo Brothers did a cameo scene. I think we were all sitting in the restaurant at some point, but that was cut out.
We were cut out.
For our own film. Though we all make an appearance later on in clown outfits.
Listen to the music. John Massari wrote the score, and this is perfect. It's kind of haunting and mysterious. Threatening. Scares the hell out of me.
Clowns are always waiting for the little girls who don't listen to their mom.
Back here, young lady. You're not going anywhere till you finish your food.
Now that was changed.
Yeah, we had a much more severe reprimand from the mom on that. So we would cut away from the clown to a close-up of the mother where she's really yelling at the girl.
For not eating her hamburger and not listening.
Yeah, but some of the executives thought it was a little too extreme.
Actually, we wanted the mother to be the false scare there.
Yeah, the mother was supposed to frighten you.
Yeah, burst into the scene and pull her away.
What's going on?
Just didn't end up that way in the final cut.
And this is another suspenseful scene. Every movie has it. Every monster movie has one where there's a scene of a horrible event. This is make-out point. There's no kids there making out.
Yeah, again, little plot points, more clues to help Dave learn more truth about the kid's story.
This was funny, too. I had to dress the rental vehicle with pink cotton candy cocoons. And there's this webbing machine that's traditionally a rubber cement mix, and you can spray it in and peel it off when you finish.
Actually, it wasn't a rental vehicle. It was a promo.
Oh, a promo comp, yeah.
Yeah, they...
It makes
Even
the story
worse.
funnier. That's it. A Jeep was a promo vehicle that was given to us.
From a local dealership.
And I dressed the heck out of it. I sprayed so much webs. I made this thing so beautiful.
Our effects people assured us that the solvent in the webbing machine would not mar the vehicle. It was perfect. It would spray it with Pam. It would come off perfectly.
Yeah, Pam, right?
Right.
Well, $3,000 later, you know, after we had to pay for repairing the interior because the toluene base on the webbing ate into the vinyl seats, the dash, and the roof.
And the fiberglass roof.
So we had to bring the vehicle to another dealership, have them restore it, and then we returned it back to the dealer that gave it to us on promo.
But we got such a great scene.
Yeah. And there went the budget. That's why I couldn't crash a car
That's why I
later
couldn't crash
on.
a car. This is funny here. Mike still thinks he's gonna beat him up.
Turn around. What are you doing, man? You're not gonna hit me, are you?
Just turn around, pal, all right?
This is
Look,
from
I'm sorry,
experience.
I didn't know she was
Just
your
drop
girl-
it, Mike.
I didn't know she was your girlfriend.
Check this out.
That's the stuff. That's the stuff that I was telling you about that was all wrapped around Joe Lombardo. Where'd you get that?
Over that Jeep over there.
That's McReed's Jeep.
Who's McReed?
Bob McReed? He was up here tonight with me and Debbie. Those are his glasses. They got him. He's dead.
That's the conclusion.
He's seen it.
I think John Byrne's laughing at a gun magazine here.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's looking at a weapons magazine.
Police Station, Mooney speaking.
I enjoy some of these little telephone conversations.
Yeah, you listen to what's going on the other side. It's pretty funny.
Clowns, huh? And now they're at your front door, huh? Wait a minute, who is this?
And Mooney's paranoid. He believes that everyone's out to get him, make a fool of him.
Well, John just played it perfectly. I mean, Dean Wormer, it was just great having him around.
Mm-hmm.
He just brought a lot to it. He was a pro.
Bastards. Shoot them all.
I get a feeling he doesn't like his job. And some of the fans, they enjoy the fact that, the Jack Daniels is a recurring beverage of choice for fascist police officers.
Police Station, Mooney speaking. Yeah.
Oh, Kurt? I think I have a bit of a problem here.
Yeah, how he's going to pay for this.
I don't get that one.
Yeah, the problem would have been if the clown had his hand around his throat.
This is funny.
Well, it did just destroy us.
Did we write this stuff?
Yeah.
They took your wife away in a balloon? Well, you don't need a police pal, you need a psychiatrist.
Again, it wasn't written as a joke. It's a real line, what you would say to somebody. Poor Mr. Myers, the scream of Mr. Myers. See, again, it doesn't dawn on him that this could be happening. He thinks everyone's in on it, playing a trick on him.
They want to play games? They're messing with the wrong guy.
Now this originally is the opening of the film. This was a teaser that we had before the titles.
And this is Joe Lombardo.
And this is the scene that was really the inception of the entire concept. What would be the most frightening image we could imagine? And it was seeing a clown driving on a dark road.
If you looked out you're looking out the driver's window and you looked over and you saw a clown in a car.
Then Charlie took it one step further. Well, what if the clown wasn't in a car? He was out there just floating in space trying to knock you off the road.
And there's our spectacular car crash. The car was supposed to go flying off the cliff and crash. What happened was the tow line that was pulling the car snapped and it sort of just dribbled over the edge.
Yeah, the effects people had put a sandbag to keep the car from rolling down the slight incline, and they didn't remove it before the cameras rolled, so in pulling the car over the sandbag, snapped the cable.
We had one take.
We only had one car.
Now, some fans are saying that this is the longest shower scene ever filmed, and I'm trying to figure out, in the context of, since we're going real time, she might be in there for 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But this is a good gag, too.
Yeah, this is the popcorn sports coming alive. We had a puppeteer below with 2 rods moving that little foam rubber popcorn.
Yeah, we duplicated it in foam, flexible rubber.
And kind of giving you an impression of something foreboding is about to happen. Something evil is lurking. And then little by little we try to pay it off here. This scene is to establish what the popcorn spores are about, giving you a little bit more information.
Yeah, the clowns don't get you in any one particular way. There's a multitude of techniques.
And we tried to think of every circus motif, every clown gag, and give it a perverse twist. Something deadly at the end of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that didn't make it into this version and into Killer Klowns, but it's basically the tip of the iceberg because the circus motif is it's rich with situations. He's just seeding the dumpster. There's Debbie in the shower. Going on in the dumpster is also happening in the hamper. This is just another poor victim. Again, he was a stuntman. And we said, well, what can he do? And one of his buddies went over to him and kicked him as hard as he could in the canards. And he just stood there smiling. It was pretty amazing.
That was the audition?
That was the audition. What can this guy do? And he kicked him in the nuts.
So, of course, we had to throw him in the dumpster.
So we threw him in the dumpster.
I'll call the state police up at Marlboro. They've got a lab.
So maybe that's going to happen to Debbie. She'll be pulled into the hamper, perhaps.
There was a thought process behind this.
Yes, finally, that's what I've been telling you.
Look, I'm sorry I was a little tough on you back there.
Yeah, what kind of dialogue would go on between 2 guys who were dating the same girl?
Having Debbie involved just makes it a lot more difficult.
The little jabs, the little insults.
Yeah.
It's got nothing to do with you, really. It's me.
This is not a bad little line.
It's obvious she goes for laughs, not stability.
Oh, this is my favorite sequence of the film.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of, monster movies or motion pictures in general, I think this is a unique sequence. It should be up there with, like, the Ben-Hur chariot scene, maybe.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, just a simple thing, little shadow puppets. What can possibly
Oh, it's a
wrong with
Comet.
that?
As soon as a clown or a mime does something, everybody crowds around it, amazed at these simple little antics. Just ripe for bening victimized.
Well, that's exactly how the clowns operate. By the time you realize that they're evil, it's too late.
Exactly. And what was done now, an animator friend of ours, Justin Cohn, did the stop motion for these shadows.
Yeah, we actually filmed the animated shadows on a white textured wall to replicate the pipes and the brickwork over at Fantasy 2 with Gene Warren. And they were frame by frame animated and then composited on the background plates.
Yeah, and coming up with the concepts, you just think, what's the most outrageous shape we can get to do it?
And that was, a wire armatured foam 2-dimensional animated prop of this, the Washington crossing the Delaware. We had the Statue of Liberty in the original storyboards.
Yeah, that was funny.
And it's the belly dancer.
I told you get out there and shoot him. Get him, Dave. Kill him. Just hang on.
I mean, the absurdity that with those big clunky clown fingers that he's doing this. I mean, again, it's just the height of absurdity. Look, the old guy is getting into it.
And then something horribly goes wrong here.
When it horribly goes wrong, we made the shadow go opaque so that he could realistically devour the crowd.
It goes tangible, and so it can grab the people.
Then why is he putting them in the popcorn?
I don't know.
It was better than an empty bag.
Yeah. The clown jumping up was a 6-inch puppet that was animated against rear screen background.
I'm sorry, I freaked out a little bit.
That's one of my favorite lines. Sorry, I freaked out a little bit.
Yeah, freaked out a little bit. Well, that's understandable. Where did he go?
Okay, now what does he do with this undeniable evidence? Now the movie kicks in.
He's gone. He went straight up.
I've seen enough.
Thank you, Dave.
1 Baker 5. Kurt, do you read me over?
1 Baker 5.
See, but Mooney's tougher, you know, to convince.
I'm worried about you. I thought the big bad clowns got a hold of you. Over.
Is it funny? Somebody pointed out that there's only 2 guys working the police force in Crescent Cove.
Well, the captain's out of town for the weekend. He'll be back on Monday,
Right.
remember?
Oh, that's right. Is it a...
It's a small college town.
Oh, it's spring break, maybe. I don't know. College town.
Okay, Dave, that's it. Screw you and your college flunkies. I've had enough of this from you and from everyone else. I know what you guys are trying to do.
Yeah, it's paranoia. Everybody's out to get him.
Yeah, I know, but if you watch The Blob, that's a line we lifted.
Oh, from
Officer Mooney.
We didn't lift. We're paying homage.
Yeah,
Homage, that's right.
Money! You cut me off. That son of a bitch cut me off! I gotta get back to the station. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I gotta get through to the state police.
The state police will save you all. Now this thing, yeah, this was supposed to look like another clown coming after them. There was a close-up we wanted to use of just the clown head coming out of the fog.
It just didn't happen.
All right. Tell everyone to stay indoors and don't do anything stupid.
You too.
Hasn't stopped anybody so far. And again, this is a good representation, a good scene to show you what the Terenzi brothers are about.
Everything was your idea.
My idea? You're the one who said we get girls this way.
No, I didn't.
Some people say the Terenzi brothers are the Chiodo Brothers. And
We
you know,
have our moments.
Yeah, we have our moments like that.
Hey, Rich, Paul! Oh, man. Am I glad to see you guys?
Frank, how you doing? You want some ice cream? We got...
No, man, listen. Something horrible's happened. I need your help.
What are you talking about?
What's wrong?
There's no time to explain. There's clowns going around killing people.
Huh?
Look, tonight Debbie and I were up on the top of the world. And
That's Peter Lacassi and Mike Siegel. We hired those guys because they had worked together as a team for so long. We wanted this kind of a rapport between 2 guys. And it worked out really well.
And that's some good physical routines, too.
Yeah, in fact, their audition, they came in throwing ice cream at us.
And didn't they have tutus underneath their clothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they started taking off their clothes and they had tutus underneath it. We thought that was pretty funny.
Clowns going around killing people. We're all in danger.
Well, we haven't sold that much ice cream tonight.
We haven't sold any.
Come on, guys, will you help me?
You know, the fact that they're a little out of the situation makes it really funny. And, you know, the Terenzi brothers always were.
They operate on a different reality.
Yeah, the ice cream thing was just always an elaborate ruse to get girls.
They love it.
What are we waiting for?
Come on! Guys, get out of the way.
No, it's fun to see, you know, something that you wrote down. It's fun to see it, you know, actually performed and, you know, come to life, you know, for better or worse.
I made it through Korea. I can make it through this bullshit.
That's right. We thought he was a little too old for Vietnam, so we went for Korea.
This is a pretty good scene. John's comic timing really helped here. He made a suggestion with this flower squirting him in the face. I had asked just for 1 burst of water, 1 squirt, and John said, let's try this. After we do the 1 squirt, hit me with another one, a 2nd burst, and it was perfect. It was that little button that really made the scene work.
Yeah,
and that was John's suggestion.
And a little tidbit is the actor in the suit, the performer that actually did the squirting gag, was famous director Brett Leonard, who was up in Santa Cruz working in our art department.
Yeah.
And Brett's gone on to direct Lawnmower Man and Virtuosity.
This is Brett holding that flower.
I ought to shoot you right now, you red-nosed freak. So you want to play games, eh?
This is an interesting confrontation. You know, just that you can see a good... I mean, John Vernon's a very large man, and you can see the clown towers over him.
Again, we wanted to make the clowns an alien race of slugs that just happen to look like our Earth clowns. It's really an entire species that is not wearing makeup. That is their skin.
That's their skin. And I guess in the supplementary stuff, I have a drawing of a naked clown, so you can see their anatomy. And the clown is obviously toying with them.
Hey, Officer Officer Mooney, come on, let us out of here.
Are we gonna be here all night or what?
Yeah, we get one phone call, don't we?
Right, I'm gonna call my...
Shut up!
This is a real jail cell that we photographed in up in Santa Cruz. There's another set of cells on the right-hand wall, but we boarded that up to simplify the set. And here we were just making the gags come fast and furious. It was
just really trying to piss Officer Mooney off.
Now, I don't know if a police officer like Mooney would turn his back on the clown, but...
It gave us a good opportunity to give him the nose.
Get in there.
He's just playing with him.
And it's just really setting up Mooney for what happens to him later on.
Yeah, I mean, Mooney's doing this in front of witnesses.
Yeah, but it's a clown. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? I would have slammed it sooner, probably.
See, right there, he gets the first... It's where he's scared.
But before this night's over, you're gonna be begging for mercy.
Great sound effect. Now this next line, coming from one of the punks, that's an ad-lib that he just threw in there.
What are you in for?
What else can you say?
It was perfect.
Yeah, I wish we could take credit for that, but actually he thought of it on the spot.
So how long has it been since Debbie's been in the shower?
I timed it at 15 minutes screen time, which is not really that long.
I think most of the time she's drying herself for the for the next 20 minutes. Yeah.
And this was shot at a police department up in Santa Cruz. Was it Watsonville?
Actually, most of the film was actually shot in Watsonville. We shot on the Santa Cruz, the amusement pier, and the mall.
Now this was a footprint gag. You know, maybe it's a little dark. I'm sure people get it. We had, clown footprints, leading in. So Dave is now following. It's a basically an old Looney Tune kind of a gag, isn't it?
Was it Duck Tracy?
Yeah. Where all of a sudden...
A lot of the gags we've got here are just things from our own past, things that we liked from Looney Tunes and Laurel and Hardy and
other notable literary references.
Yeah, and we reapplied them. We made like a couple of hundred of these things and just sort of pasted them on the walls, the ceiling, and all over. But maybe the lighting in this scene maybe doesn't make it as obvious. But it's better because it makes it scarier. Again, this is a suspenseful scene. It works there. Could have made black footprints. We decided, let's make the clown stuff colorful. And John is playing it very, very serious. There's no mugging to the camera in this film.
No, he took it very seriously. 2 more victims.
The webbing didn't eat into the jail cell.
No, there were cinder blocks, thank God.
And this is sad. Again, this is the little the college kids being jellified here.
Our little boo cut.
And this next sequence is my, again, in terms of hitting a nerve, this is the real creepy scene in the film.
Yeah, I mean, besides clowns being frightening, to me, ventriloquist dummies have always been really unnerving. So here we combine 2 of my worst fears in one scene. And then John did a brilliant job in, just coming alive as a dead ventriloquist dummy.
Hey, Dave.
Now, some inside information. The makeup, the design on that makeup, if you notice, the cheeks are the clown's thumbprint with Mooney's blood, and the lines out of the mouth, which are the ventriloquist dummy mouth, You know, that's blood dripping out of Mooney's mouth. That's how we created that. And the sound effect sells that. And that's creepy.
In fact, John actually was sorry to finish up on the movie. He was trying to talk us into writing him coming back as like a clown zombie that would be in the spaceship later on. We thought just best to leave it right there. It's more powerful.
You can't stop these clowns.
Yeah, it looks like they're filled with like sawdust, but how do you kill a clown? Shoot the nose, kill the clown.
But if the clowns know that that's their weak point, then maybe they'll put like a force field around it next time.
Next time.
CPD, this is Marlboro State Police. Dave, Kurt, are you there? Over.
Nose armor.
Jack, we need your assistance. The town's gone crazy. People are being killed. Over.
Town's not going crazy.
These clowns aren't people. They're some kind of creatures, things from another planet. Well, Jack.
The clown planet, perhaps?
Yeah, I don't know. We tried to make this scene as short as we could. Because it's a very difficult thing to get across. It's a lot of exposition.
Well, it's funny. Now you got a police officer trying to convince his buddies to come. And if you tell them the truth, why didn't he just say that there's a riot? And he would have got people there. No, he's telling them the clown.
He's a cop. He's telling the truth. Who actually shot John going over to Mooney and trying to see if he was all right, but that was just cut from the film.
Yeah.
It was much stronger leaving him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, coming up is, the big clown vacuum machine. And what I was doing, I was doing conceptual designs and stuff. And I hand them over to Philip Foreman, who was working with the construction crew. I gave him the design for this giant vacuum cleaner machine. And they took a pickup truck and they built, a wooden facade with a lot of little plastic nurnies and stuff from Pick and Save, bowls and trash can lids and stuff. We painted it up. We used a giant tarp and lit it from within, so it's a big blue balloon. And we got it ready for this big climax scene where the clowns are, taking
over
the
the town. So inside we have a light source to illuminate the tarp. And we also threw those our balloons, our weather balloons.
The weather
on
balloons
it as well.
on it. The streamers, were being put up in great difficulty because prior to the shooting, the wind was blowing furiously, and we put all these streamers to look like the clowns have just overtaken.
Yeah, it really shows how massive the invasion is.
Basically, they're sweeping up all their victims.
That was their modus operandi. They'd go through, capture the people, cocoon them, balloon them, and then they'd come up later on and gather it all.
Mm-hmm. And this guy thinks he's going to get away. This is our stunt coordinator, right?
Yeah, Rocky Capella. He did this stunt for us.
Little did he realize.
Now they decide to run.
Got away by the skin of their teeth.
Finally.
Yeah, Debbie's out of the shower, but I guess she was taking a lot of time getting dressed.
Yeah. What's interesting about this, from this point on, I think the movie just goes and never stops. It reaches an action peak that takes us all the way to the end of the film.
Yeah. All the stuff featuring Suzanne here was shot in Santa Cruz on set, but all the puppets and all the close-ups were actually shot in post-production in our facility in Burbank.
Yeah, months later.
But yeah, that's my wife as a stand-in, doubling for Suzanne.
And these little puppets are operated from behind with little trigger mechanisms to make their mouths open. So they're like little rod puppets. And these little guys here are rod puppets from below, but then they're also marionetted from the top.
So it's a real mixed bag of techniques, a lot of different things. This is a hand puppet.
If you look a little close, you'll actually see my arm coming out of the hand puppet.
That's right. Ed operated the hand on the insert chute, and Deborah Galvez operated the puppet up in Santa Cruz.
Yeah. All we had to do was put a purple sleeve.
And we wanted to do to the toilet what Alfred Hitchcock did to the shower.
I think we did.
That's funny. Actually, one of our fan mail via email. This woman has two basic fears in life. One being fear of clowns, and the other fear of toilets.
So we hit both of her childhood fears in one movie.
And this is Debbie's biggest fear, coming face to face with a clown. And just another opportunity to mine all classic clown antics.
Clown gags.
This is Debbie's Sphere. And that was done. Technically, we had her on a teeter-totter, basically, and we lifted her up.
Yeah. This is one of the more cool effects.
See, if they want to eat you, they put you in a cocoon. But if they want to do something else to you, they put you in a balloon.
Yeah, or sort of like lobster, best served fresh.
Yeah, because somebody was always asking, why do they put Debbie in a balloon?
She's cute.
I want to keep her fresh for later on.
Right here. Left, right. No, left!
And this ice cream truck with the Pop Goes the Weasel, that was something reminiscent of a Three Stooges short we had seen when we were younger. Where
it just seemed an appropriate song to be played by a...
If you notice, the faster the truck goes in the chase later on, the faster the music plays.
And that's a house in Santa Cruz that we just dressed out with streamers.
The clown car was a little Honda CBCC, the smallest little car we can get.
Now, getting Debbie in the balloon there, now that was on the car, it's a real balloon that we dressed out. I painted with rubber cement paint. To get Debbie in it, it was a half-dome, plexiglass dome that was painted on the inside, so you can sort of see Debbie bouncing around in there.
And if you look close, you can see the bottom half bottom half of the sphere isn't there.
But don't look too close. They wouldn't allow us to drive too fast in the Santa Cruz neighborhood, so Fantasy 2 went back and sped it up in optical. And I think it's kind of a funny scene. A clown car being chased by an ice cream truck being chased by the police.
It's a first.
And here they wouldn't let us wreck the cop car.
Or the ice cream truck for that matter.
So we always had to pull our punches on these car crashes.
And years after, our executive producer says, we should have crashed the car. Thank you.
Why don't you say what you mean next time? Come on, let's go see what happened.
Chiodo Brothers not quite with it.
Dave, are you okay?
Yeah, it's slightly altered reality.
Oh, Mike, what the hell are you guys doing? They got Debbie.
Oh, that's all it takes.
Get in the truck, pal.
Gee, officer, I'm really sorry.
Coming up is a great matte painting that Mark Sullivan produced for us. We went up along the northern coast and shot the sea, and then he painted in that element in the background.
All these matte paintings are what's called original negative matte paintings, meaning we shot the film, then re-exposed it in the camera with a matte painting element. So it's original photography. There are no dupes. There are no second generations. It's all original.
Yeah, he was working with Rocco Joffrey. Together they were creating all those matte shots.
This is David Peel, who played our security guard, who actually did a wonderful job, but he wasn't our first choice.
Who was our first choice?
Well, Soupy Sales, the classic pie-in-the-face guy from kids' television back in the 60s. But Transworld wouldn't pop for the money to get him to fly to the West Coast.
They didn't think the audience of this film would recognize who Soupy Sales was and what he meant to pies.
Yeah, I mean, he's the pie guy.
For us, it would have been a real coup to get the most pies ever thrown at Soupy Sales in one take.
Yeah.
So, but that distinction now goes to David Peel.
Yeah, David Peel.
And he did a great job, too, because those are real pies we're throwing at him, and they're very heavy.
Yeah.
The first few almost knock him down.
Well, I mean, yeah, Soupy Sales had basically a pie tin with whipped cream, or shaving cream, actually. And what we had here was pineapple, strawberry, or chocolate filling with whipped cream.
You wanted to see that texture.
Now, I don't know where this gag came from, but it's one of the funnier ones. I mean, acid pies. And he took it, we did 2 takes, and then we actually did a close-up, too. So he was in those pies for a long time. A real trooper.
The clown on the Funhouse had 2 front teeth, but on the first take, the big clown knocked them off. And this is just a little gag we threw in. Bing.
What a way to go.
So I guess they didn't want to save him for later.
Nah, that was just a mean thing to do. Again, the clown car was just the smallest car that we could find with a wooden frame put over it. We painted it up, Memphis Designs.
Hey, you guys, this is weird.
Look at this stuff. Looks like
And this is being shot on the amusement pier in Santa Cruz,
Which
right?
is the big reason we went to Santa Cruz, because they had the location that we needed, you know?
So the only element here is that foreground funhouse element that you painted.
Yeah, we built a facade out. And this is a miniature. We built a miniature about 10 inches long for the facade of the funhouse, and the tent is like maybe a 14-inch, 15-inch diameter miniature tent.
Follow me. All right, now you guys, no fooling around. Stick together, okay?
Now in these scenes, we wanted to create a transition from the real-world funhouse into the spaceship. And here, Charlie painted these large facades that were the funhouse, the legitimate funhouse.
Well, what's interesting is, you know, this is reminiscent of the funhouses we used to go to in Rye Beach back on the East Coast when we were younger.
In fact, this entire ending is very reminiscent to this magic carpet ride that we went to back in the 50s.
And the original draft was even more. We threw everything that we used to experience as kids.
And the dialogue here is really just our attempt to explain the clown origin. We didn't want to ever give a definitive reason, so we just throw out
different hypotheses, different ideas.
And really you draw your own conclusion. And I think we all have one that we kind of like that explains it, but...
Yeah, but Pete nailed it pretty much on the nose. The last one there.
Maybe they're using this for experiments to dissect and study.
So that means...
You know, they're all true.
So why don't they communicate with us? I mean, talk to us instead of killing us.
Maybe they're just cruising through the galaxy and stopped here for a bite to eat.
There you go.
It kind of hangs there.
Something as simple as that.
Yeah, look, everybody, let's just hold off on the talking, okay? Let's not give ourselves away.
How come you never gave the Terenzi brothers a gun to protect themselves?
Can we kill them?
Would you?
Yeah. Here's where I think the transition is. All of a sudden, when the smoke starts coming, I think we can assume that we're in clown territory.
Yeah. Again, the guys couldn't tell whether they were in the funhouse or the spaceship. It was a nice transition. And here again, we just used these sort of like Tinker Toy parts.
Yeah,
you'll notice as we get deeper into the clown spaceship, the less structure there is, the more open spaces, more broad color.
Well, what we tried to do here is, again, on a limited budget, we tried to create the largest set we could. So we designed it, all these colorful elements set against a black limbo. So we could move the foreground elements around to change the location, but still have this large expanse of this surrealistic limbo atmosphere.
Yeah, now our special effects guy who just set off that ram, if you see center frame, he's laying there with a tarp on top of him, that lump, right center frame there. You know? Hide, lower, Taslow, lower.
All right, now look, you guys, stay together. I don't have to run around and find you, too.
No problem. We can handle it.
That button was funny. That was a doggy dish with a ball in it.
And here's a funny gag. The guys just dropped down onto the floor in the previous cut. And they're still down on the floor now, and watch Grant kind of trip over them when he goes back.
Where'd they go? Come on, Rich.
Ow! Oh, stepped on a Terenzi brothers' hand.
They do this all the time. Those guys are like cats. They always land on their feet.
And here's what we should have saw them hit the ball.
Yeah, it would have been funny.
You know, hindsight.
So this is a little subplot storyline. What happened to the Terenzi brothers? Well,
they finally get what they've been after all night.
Yeah.
Those are some local
clowns.
Local clowns.
Are you Debbie's roommates?
I mean, they're just totally out of it.
I recognize this place.
Me too.
How could you possibly?
Debbie and I were in. Come on.
Again, all these parts were reused.
It's really part of the really an ingenious design that Philip came up with just to really stretch the production dollars. This Tinker Toy approach.
And here we revisit Mark's original matte painting in the opening of the show, and you can see all of the cocoons.
Yeah, it's a little different.
It's understated on how many people we actually killed. I mean, we basically wiped out the entire population of the town.
I think we were credited with a higher body count than all the sequels to the
all the Freddy
movies. Okay, we're looking for a yellow balloon.
That's the fun part. What they're going for here is so absurd, but the drama and the severity of what they're pursuing now is really important. They're looking for his girlfriend. But where is she? In a balloon.
Whose girlfriend?
Yeah.
Both of their girlfriend.
Possible, Mike.
How many cocoons did we make? We made about 50, 60 cocoons.
Yeah, about that.
We had a crew working for weeks.
And this is Fatso. That was the clown's name.
Again, the clowns in the movie never had names in the film proper, but we had pet names for them on the set.
You had to put something down on the call sheet to know which clown we were going to be shooting.
And this is another suspenseful scene where,
There's Pooh Bear again.
Yeah, the little Cocoon is the dog.
And when we were scouting for locations, we actually went to a factory with a lot of machines that we were contemplating using for this sequence here, for the Cocoon room, but it didn't allow us to shoot as wide a shot as we wanted. And I think ultimately creating the entire piece on stage served us very well. Design-wise, it was more homogeneous for the rest of the picture.
Actually, we ended up going to a giant warehouse, actually office building before it was occupied, before the occupants moved in. It was just an enormous warehouse that we were able to house really the entire production for the last 2 weeks.
And this scene, it hits the nerve. You finally see what the clowns are up to. Whether he's sucking the juice out of your brain, basically you're turning into that sickening coat that they put on jelly apples. Some people say it's blood, but it's something disgusting, and the clowns are enjoying it.
Again, another play on a clown, something fun, circus, like the wackiest, crazy straw we can come up with.
Yeah, I think that is probably the wackiest, the wackiest straw I've ever seen.
Yeah, actually, all the special props were built by Gene Rizzardi, a good old friend of ours.
Bob was right, man. They are hungry. They're gonna eat everybody, man!
Just calm down, all right?
Quiet, Mike.
We gotta find Debbie before it's too late. All right. Hey, that's the one. The yellow balloon. Is she in there?
Yeah, she's in there.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, and this is a funny gag, too. We have Debbie, or Suzanne Snyder, standing on a platform directly behind the balloon. And then when Dave shoots it, all she does is just drop down. And then the guys at Fantasy 2 then put an optical sparkle on top of it to kind of mask the transition.
Ready to run.
Are you all right?
I'm surprised another balloon didn't pop from the ricochet on that or something.
I wonder. But it's interesting plot-wise here. Now we see the transition, who Debbie really falls for when she needs help. And Mike is just standing there. He's not the hero anymore.
He's kind of on the outside.
Come on.
This is one of my favorite lines coming up here.
Wait a second, guys. We can't leave. There might be other people still alive in these balloons.
Now, it was delivered dead serious.
Yeah. It's pretty absurd, but he's
genuinely concerned. But then the clowns come and you can't do anything about it.
And we can assume the other people in the balloons were still alive.
So now, once we establish that their nose bursts with this green sparkling confetti, now we just cut to the aftermath of it every time they shoot somebody. We just couldn't afford to do those opticals every single time a clown got shot. And now all these set pieces are the same elements, just twisted and turned around into different orientations.
Everybody down.
Here's another good line. Nobody's gonna put me in a balloon again.
Come on, Mike, get a move on.
I think one of our clowns slipped.
How come you guys stopped here?
This was an interesting just a little throwaway creature that we made. Mike Joyce made it over at Fantasy 2. Just something nasty that the clowns had down in the basement.
It's something that we wanted to shoot, actually, that even the clowns will fall prey to their own little traps, that a clown actually slides down and gets devoured by the creature.
Yeah, that clown was going to go straight through, and you were supposed to hear chomping.
And this is a foreground miniature that was made by Fantasy 2, again to expand the scope of the Funhouse scenes. This was a funny scene. The first 3 times we shot this, they couldn't even walk through the balloons.
For some reason.
They had to take half the balloons out. They were popping, bursting in their face. They just couldn't make it through this narrow little corridor. It's really a surprise.
And it was just there, just to slow things down, just to
change the pace of the chase.
The pace. And this was all the sonotubes painted candy striped, candy cane striped, and put in a long corridor. The contrast of the color against the black is very effective.
Very surreal, and it was a very economical way to get a corridor without walls.
Door. Come on, Mike!
Another door! Another door! Debbie, come on! Dave, come on!
No more bullets.
What a surprise. They got the balloon dogs chasing them. Well, they're safe.
Yeah,
now they're safe.
So now we're in that warehouse, right? At this point in the show?
Yeah.
And we built this, what do we call it, a birthday cake, this tiered platform that they stand on at the end.
Yeah, this is our Climax Clown Arena here. That was a matte painting.
This is done by Fantasy too. It's a comp. Now here you can see all of the set pieces again. These are things that were used in different orientations in other parts of the show. Balloons and sonotubes. And the ground is made of this floor dancing material, right?
Yeah, dance floor material. We originally used a black visqueen in an effort to save money, but the first night it was just so slippery. People were just falling and hurting themselves, so the next day we had to bring in this very expensive dance floor, which proved to be a lot safer.
And here we had so many people. We had as many as 40 clowns in these scenes. We kludged together baseball bats with spikes and golf clubs.
Hockey sticks.
Yeah, basically we hit Toys R Us and then made them lethal.
This is a miniature shot that was originally to be shot live with a large truck, but didn't have time to shoot it.
Leave them alone! Do what I say or else!
Now, if you notice, the Terenzi brothers, their clothes are shredded, and they have lipstick marks on their faces. So I wonder what they were doing with those female clowns we saw earlier.
And this is, again, another little homage to Wizard of Oz, really. The clowns are mesmerized by the voice coming from the giant clown on their ice cream truck.
Oh, man, I'm glad to see you guys.
Come on, let's go. Get in the truck. Let's go. Come on, Mike. Come on, Debbie. Come on, Rick.
How the truck got into the center of the tent is beyond me, but...
That's funny. Now, originally, this King Clown, or we call him Klownzilla, that descends from the center, we wanted to do him stop motion. But as we got further into production, we realized that we didn't have the time or money to do that. So we opted for the old Godzilla technique, a man in a suit.
That man happened to be me.
Yeah, Charlie played the Klownzilla in these scenes.
And the sequence is really made up of a lot of different... A guy in a suit shot in a perspective manner where we shot him very close to the camera so he appears large in the frame. The guy in the costume on a miniature set, again, to make him appear large.
We duplicated all the full-size, set pieces in miniature.
So right there, that's a comp of Charlie on a miniature platform composited with the guys in the foreground.
And I couldn't see very well in that costume, and I had to negotiate down that birthday cake platform, basically blind, sort of feeling with my big clown feet.
Everyone out of the truck, come on!
We can't, it's rented.
It's one of my favorite lines.
Yeah, that's Edward came up with that line.
I love the fact that they honked the horn like that's going to do.
Yeah. Now, here we were shooting high speed. I mean, Gene Warren's a master at miniatures and high-speed photography. And it really worked out. This is the best choice of technique for this.
Yeah, the original concept of the marionette clown, he was supposed to be in strings the entire time. Well, we dispensed with the strings early on when we realized that to have to rig the costume with strings for the entire sequence would be prohibitive.
And Joe Viscoso rigged that explosion for us. He's an Academy Award winner for Pyrofix.
For ID4 he won.
Yeah, for Independence
and Star
Day.
Wars, he's one of the best. All the miniature sequence was shot in a giant tent that was constructed in Fantasy 2's parking lot in Burbank.
Mike, take Debbie, get her out of here. I'll draw its attention.
No, Dave, don't. We can all make it.
We can't, Debbie.
Stop it.
Now, these shots coming up are perspective shots. We've got the Klownzilla suit in the foreground. We're shooting over his shoulder to Dave down on the ground.
Yeah, I was on a 15-foot ladder, and they were shooting over my shoulder.
Over here!
And this is the miniature of the spaceship tent.
This is one of our clever concepts, where the concept being that this big top spaceship actually is a big top when it takes off.
Yeah, those lights were sucked in through a tube in the center.
That was a foreground miniature of the spaceship with live lights in the background being sucked into the center point.
Yeah, I think they were Christmas lights. Oh, Dave, you shouldn't have looked down.
Now that's a giant hand that we had constructed to lift Dave up, and there's a little mechanical Dave being held in Charlie's hand there.
Pulled out all the stuff, no technique left on the side.
That's right.
We did everything.
They certainly are.
Now what is that? That's our spaceship on a Makita drill?
Yeah, it's a 15, 16-inch diameter on a Makita drill being spun around.
Actually, it was a little more. Remember, it had a fluorescent tube inside.
Well,
the
and
top
a
and the
heavy
bottom.
ballast.
Yeah, the ballast was inside. The power came in through points on the top and the bottom.
And that's a matte painting done by Fantasy 2. Frank Marshall?
Frank Marshall did the painting, and it was shot over at Fantasy 2. With the live prop of the spaceship comped in.
So the plate was from Santa Cruz, the painting, and the miniature is Fantasy 2.
And watch the amazing detail the guys went to. I mean, the reactive light on the painting when the spaceship explodes, it was really a great detail.
That's a perspective shot with the puppet head and the large-scale arm in the background.
Yeah, and we had an air mortar blow the confetti out on contact.
This was an interactive rig we had, that a spinning rig that had mirrors and lights on it that would create reactive lighting in the miniature set.
And there's the interactive lighting, you know, from the fireworks and the explosion on the matte painting, which was a nice little detail.
Now, in actuality, this is an alternate ending. Originally,
well, Dave wasn't supposed to make it.
Dave didn't survive. But in preview screenings, we decided to give it a more upbeat ending and have our hero
our executive
survive.
came to us and said, guys, this is a fun movie. It's got a lot of laughs in it. Let's go out on an upbeat. They like Dave. Let's make him live.
Yeah, and our argument was, no, but we want a realistic movie.
So a couple of months later, we went back out, actually in a parking lot in Van Nuys, and shot this new ending, where we actually got a crane, dropped a clown car.
But even in the original ending, the Terenzi brothers did survive.
The Terenzi brothers survived.
The same way they hid in the ice cream truck.
But I saw you guys get blown up in the ice cream truck.
Oh, that. Oh, we hid in the freezer with the ice cream.
See, we always have an explanation.
With your ice cream? What? How are we going to pay for the truck?
Don't blame me. It was your idea.
No, it wasn't. You're the one who said we could get girls.
You said you
I
could.
did not. You
hey,
said
listen, if it wasn't for me, you'd be a dead French fry.
Oh, yeah, well, you'd be a dead popsicle.
Happy ending. But now, who gets the girl?
That's obvious to me. This is a questionable ending, too. I mean, we had fun in giving it this, like, where Jack Harris would have made a giant question mark appear at the end. How lethal are those pies?
Yeah, I mean, did we just kill our cast here?
Then you go take a shower to get that off of them, or what?
You know, this was like the most exciting thing, my favorite project, I think, of all time.
No, I think so, too. And although we've been trying to sell projects here and there, we've worked in television and motion pictures, we've never quite done anything quite like this. And although we've got a Killer Clown sequel planned in the back of our mind, we're just waiting for the best opportunity to present it. And we just got a lot of talented people to bring together.
I think there are people waiting for a sequel to Killer Klowns. In the meantime, we've been doing Land of the Lost Dinosaurs with Sid and Marty Krofft. We did the Amazing Live Sea Monkeys. You know, we've been keeping pretty busy doing stuff with Trey and
oh yeah, that's my Bush show with Parker and Stone. But I'll tell you, there's a Killer Klowns in the future. We've come up with a couple of other concepts about bringing the clowns back. One of the concepts was there was a clown's egg left behind, and a sideshow of circus freaks raises the killer clown from an egg.
When the clown comes back, he has to figure out what side he's going to be fighting with.
Yeah, and it's really interesting. Obviously, the way the clowns thing has grown into the cult status. I guess it's attained now. We never really expected it. So looking back on it now, it's time to bring it back. And
well, it's 13 years later, and still we got websites devoted to it and stuff. I'm excited about that. You know,
I'm surprised. I know it seemed to have struck a chord in audiences out there, and I think that they're waiting for something new to come out.
Yeah, which is that note that you know, the nerve that clowns have. It's a common fear, you know, and just like, you know, like you have aliens You have the Frankenstein monster, the creature from the Black Lagoon, you know, icons and monsters. I'm sort of proud that we created a monster icon, which are monster clowns.
It was really a new monster, you know.
I can't remember seeing an evil clown to this degree prior to this film. So kind of pleased with that.
You know, and when people do monster clowns, it's usually based on what we've done, which is great to know.
Yeah, this is our first film. We just didn't realize our second film was going to take so long to get off the ground.
Well, that's it. You know, like you look at it, looking back on it, you know, there's things that we would definitely change and do differently, and we sort of, you know, wince, you know, when we see certain things. But, you know, for 13 years ago, our first film, it is what it is, and we're pretty proud of it.
Well, it's interesting. Although it didn't get a very wide release theatrically when it first came out, it did pick up quite an audience when it was released on video. And it was that audience that really kept this whole mythology going.
Well, there you go.
No, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was, hope you guys have fun listening to us ramble here.
I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed talking about it.